Hey friends, this is James with Ryburn Training Systems. Today I want to show you day 3 of the Muscle Through Corona Banded Bodyweight program. The link for the description in the program is below. Just like before, if you have any questions about today, be sure to check out the link and describe everything for you in words. Also, the link for the other 3 videos are in the description as well. With that being said, let's jump right to it. So on upper body day 1, we focused a lot on back. Now we're going to focus a lot on chest. We're going to have my lovely mom here do some push-ups for demonstration. Now, we have 4 different levels of difficulty. So we're going to start with the easiest and go down from there. Anything like a countertop works, the back of a couch. Let's use countertop for now. So mom's going to go on the countertop. She's going to stand just far enough so that when she comes down to the push-up, her mid-chest hits the countertop or the level wherever you are. So mom, keep repping out. Now, notice how her elbows, if you want to come over here, are kind of at like a wide arrow. So they're not totally flared out, but they're not tucked in. They're just perfectly right where they should be. Perfect. And then as my mom pushes out, she's going to think about squeezing the surface together. Now, don't actually move your hands, but just think about squeezing it together like you're going to try to kind of push it together. Yeah, perfect. So that tempo she's doing right here is really good as well. Notice how also her body is straight. That is just what we want. Awesome. Let me show you some more variations. Mom, you can stop. Let me show you some options too to make them just a little more challenging if you are good at push-ups already. With push-ups, the higher your hands are on a surface, the higher that surface is, the easier it's going to be. So level 2, to make it a little more challenging, would just be to decrease the amount of height on the surface where your hands are. For example, say you mastered level 1, you got the max amount of reps, which we'll talk about in a second. Just go down a little bit to say a couch surface. So same thing, basic form, just like my mom did. Here, perfect. That's going to work just fine. So that's kind of level 2. It can really be anywhere from here to here. At that point, once you get good at this, or you're strong enough to go on the floor, then you're ready for basic floor push-ups. So with that, not a lot changes. Just have your hands under your chest, your feet back, with both shoulder width apart. Have your body straight, and just like that. Now, with all push-ups, again, it's important to squeeze inward, kind of like you're trying to squeeze the floor together or surface together. So, say floor push-ups are really easy for you. We can do another level of advancement. We can elevate our feet. This, just find a surface about this height, the couch height, and elevate your feet. Same thing. Hands under your chest, elbows slightly flared, not all the way tucked in, but just right there. Just like that. The same principles apply for every level of push-ups. Now, the last one, because this is a band program, if you're really, really strong, you can use a band for your push-ups. All you do is just hold it like this, put it around your back, and go like that. This is going to really add a lot of tension in that lockout position, so it's going to make it nice and challenging for you. So as far as determining how many sets to do, how many reps to do, let's go through that right now. Overall, you're going to do 3 to 5 sets of push-ups. These sets are going to be done in what's called a single rest pause session. Now, if you already know what these are, go for it. Again, the link is in the description below. I describe what these are, but I'll explain it right now as well. A single rest pause simply means that you take 2 mini sets, combine them into one. In between the mini sets, you're going to take a 15-second break and then continue. So what that looks like is, say you do your push-ups, whatever level you're at, you do your push-ups, you reach 1 to 0 reps in reserve, that's our reps in reserve point, and then you take a 15-second break, 15 deep breath break, I mean. So after 15 deep breaths, you go into another mini set. Those 2 mini sets combined are 1 single rest pause set. Again, we're doing 3 to 5 total single rest pause sets. One thing to note though is that I want you to go in on both mini sets, go to the reps in reserve for this exercise, which is 0 to 1 reps in the tank, which again means going 0 or 1 rep away until technical failure. This can also kind of let you know what level to use as well. So take the first mini set and pick a level where you can get 10 to 20 good reps in. So if you're not very strong at push-ups and you can do only 1 floor push-up from the floor, don't start there, start a little higher, maybe from the countertop or the couch or something in between. Also, for push-ups, it's really, really important to focus on tempo. A lot of times, I see this a lot, and people go and they crank it out as fast as they possibly can, like this, right? You notice a couple things wrong with that. A, it kind of hurt my shoulder. Also, my range of motion was very, very limited, and the tension was just not maximized at all. And to really kind of drive home these benefits of why we're doing this, tension is going to really be a key player for providing optimal stimulus to make progress. You know, that's why we're lifting, right? And also, we have nowhere to go. You know, it's quarantine, so don't rush your lifts, be safe, and be effective. Let's move on to our next chest exercise, the last one, line squeezing pullovers. I actually made this one up on accident as I was trying to work my lats with pullovers traditionally, but this one works really well for chest, I found out. So let me show you how it's done. Take your band, put it to the low anchor position. Now, the key here is to lay down enough to get a stretch in your arms as you grab your band. And the band should be pretty tight. So right here, there's kind of some looseness to the band. So I want to move up just a little bit, reach back. Perfect, that's going to be good. Now here's where the squeezing part comes in. You're going to take your hands together, you can either face them together like this or like that, and really squeeze inward as hard as you can as you pull over down just like that. So yeah, your back's been working, your lats been working a little bit here too, but the main focus is your chest. So again, squeeze in really hard, and then come back. You can keep your arms just semi-straight. A little bend is okay. Here's one more time, and I'm squeezing in, and I'm feeling a pretty good contraction, especially in my lower chest as I do that. That's also a good tempo as well, just keep in mind. So, unlike the push-ups where we did single rest pods, we're just going to do straight sets here of 10 to 20 reps again. And so again, straight sets, just do your set, and then take a 1 to 2 minute break, go back. Let's do 3 to 4 sets total at 1 to 0 reps in reserve. One more time, that just means 1 to 0 reps in the tank until you can't do another rep with perfect form. Perfect, let's move on. All right, on the back, we got seated low rows. So your band should already be at the low position of the door with the pullovers. With the seated low rows, we're gonna kind of aim to target the whole back, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So sit down, just like, if you remember on upper day 1, we did these, but the high rows. So with here, I want your arms not flared out wide, not in too narrow, just right in the middle, just like an arrow. And I want you to think about really squeezing, again, that pull around your shoulder blades, just like before we did rows previously. So what that looks like is, I'm gonna come get a big stretch forward, really reach for it, and then you can arch your back a little bit as you pull back and really squeeze your shoulder blades around that pull. Come forward, squeeze, just like that. Done right, you should feel your whole entire back, your lats, your traps, your rhomboids, really feel the effect of this exercise. Oh, one thing to note, I mentioned this before, but that stretch forward is really important because that enforces your shoulder blades to be free. A lot of times when people row, they keep the shoulder blades in one position, like this, and they just go kind of move their arms like that. That's hitting a lot of biceps and kind of hitting your upper back, but it's really not that efficient. So if you reach forward, notice how my shoulder blades get a full extension forward. They're rolling, not rolling, but they're reaching forward, and then as I pull them back, they're retracting back and protracting forward, just like that. So that's an important note to take. One thing with progression for these, as well as the pullovers that I forgot to mention, is that your progression options are either moving forward, that's why I have these different levels here. So just then I was at level 5, you can go to level 6, 7, 8, or you can just add more bands to add more weight if you have them. So sets and reps here, because this is the only back exercise today, let's go 4 to 6 sets of a single drop set. What that means is that you do one mini set of 10 to 20 reps and right away move forward or take off some weight, and with no rest do another set of 10 to 20 reps. So say I'm doing rows at level 8 here, you do your rows, hit 10 to 20 reps, and then right away I'm just going to jump forward until I can do another set of 10 to 20 reps. That whole entire sequence of those both drops counts as one set. For both those mini sets, take it to 1 to 0 reps in reserve. This is all the back work we have today again, so really push hard and definitely work for it. All right, now we're gonna move on to shoulders. We got one of my most favorite extra spicy superset of banded pull aparts and laterals. A very good combo. It's definitely gonna be effective for you. So starting with the pull aparts, all you do is you take your band, grab predetermined distance apart. I'll show you where to determine that in a sec. And get a good stretch forward, kind of like in the rows. What you're gonna do is you're gonna think about pulling your arms to both ends of the walls and back. So your hands, rather, both ends to the walls and then back, just like that. A huge key here is thinking about that pull around your shoulder blades again. Now, personally, I like to think about the pull being a little kind of centered lower on my back versus upper. So kind of like right here, and you're trying to wrap your shoulder blades around that point. Now, a common mistake people make with these is that they have a lot of body English. So they're going like, kind of like that. That's not really doing a whole lot, so let's try to fix that a little bit. And with that stretch forward, keep your torso and your feet planted where they are, and then just focus on moving your hands back, or your shoulders back and forward, just like that. Done right, you should feel a lot of tension right in your mid and rear delt. So this is a superset, so right after you're done with your set of those, take no breaks and come into your set of banded laterals. Chances are, you have one band, but either way, put it down on your feet. And I like to put my feet together. Now stand straight up, and all you do is you keep your arms straight for the most part. They can have a little bend in them, and then come up, just like that. Now, it's kind of like a range of where this works. You can either come straight out like that, or you can come a little bit of an angle in, kind of like that. Either one's fine. Now, the key here though is tempo and form. So a lot of times people go up here, and because the band is so much tension, they're just flopping right back down. That's not the greatest, so let's come here, nice and slow back down, up, just like that. And just like the pull aparts, just don't be swinging too much. That's not gonna do very good. So here, pause for a sec, and come down. Perfect. So as far as sets and reps, let's go 4 to 5 supersets for this, again with the pull apart starting and then with the laterals. Let's go 10 to 30 reps of each exercise for the superset. And also as far as reps in reserve, let's do 1 to 0 reps in reserve. Now I want to show you how to progress for progressive overload wise with both these exercises. So I'm going to go back to the pull aparts. Now if you come over here, I have a marker on my wall that's marked every inch apart. So what I do is that I can mark where my knuckles are as my kind of baseline, and that's how far I have apart. So you know with progressive overload as described in my program, for that individual set, the whole entire goal is to get stronger within that set with good form. So say week 1, I can do, so the range is 10 to 30, say I can do 27 reps at level 9. Now eventually, because I'm going to get stronger, then I can do 30, 31 reps. Now it's time for me to increase my load to knock it back down to the beginning of the rep range, which is 10 reps. So at that point, I might go to level 6. Now because it's more tension, it's going to knock me back down to the end range again, and I'm about to work my way back up to 30. So that's kind of how you can progress with this, because otherwise it's kind of like, okay, well, week 1 I grabbed right here, and now it's time to do this again next week, and I'm going to grab right here, but it's kind of farther out, so it's not very consistent. So that's a good way to do it that I found. As far as progression with the laterals, let me show you an easy way to do it. So just like before, how with the pull aparts, the range is 10 to 30. Say you get to the point where you can get 30 reps for that set. An easy way to make the set more challenging, to add more weight or tension, is to just move your feet out wider. The wider your feet go, the harder it's going to be. That's one way to make it a little more challenging. Also, if you have more bands, you can just add that on as well. However, I do find that if you get to a certain point where you add so much bands, it's going to get really hard on top and really easy on bottom. So, just find what works for you. Do the best you can with what you got. That's all I have for shoulders. For this shoulder exercise, let's move on to one more shoulder exercise overhead presses. So take your band, you can either put it at the low anchor or just stand on it. I prefer the low anchor, it just kind of feels better in my shoulders, better position. So this one's pretty straightforward. Just come forward enough to where you can get comfortable, stay your feet, and then lean forward slightly so you kind of press at an angle and press up. Just like that. This exercise, the way it's set up, is going to have a lot of tension on top. So just fight through that sticking point. And at this point your delts should be feeling pretty good because they're also nice and warmed up with the previous exercises. Something to note on this one though is that you really don't want to kind of arch your back too much. You know, some people might fight it, they might fight it too much on top, and instead of pressing up, they kind of just like arch their back a lot. So just take note of that. Stay true to your form. You know, if you don't get anybody impressed, so if you start to have sloppy reps, stop. Let's do 3 to 4 sets of this one for 15 to 30 reps each set. We're just going to do standard straight sets here, so nothing fancy, just do your 15 to 30 reps and then take a minute or 2 break and repeat 3 to 4 times. Let's go 2 to 0 reps in reserve. So you can pick any one in there. Again, that's 2 to 0 reps till technical failure. That's all we have for shoulders. Let's move on to arms. I'm really excited to share with you my favorite banded bicep exercise. I've been doing this ever since quarantine started, and I've been seeing really great progress with it. So let me show you how it's done. We are doing lying spider curls. So what you're going to do is anchor it to your high position of your door or anchor point. Now, every time you do this, I find it's easier to have your body in the same position rather than move back. So I kind of standardize that by putting my feet against the door. Now, don't break your parents' or your own door by pushing against it, because that can happen. So I have to use the door frame as my feet rests. Now with this one, you're going to line up your hands with the band, and that's where your starting point should be. So don't start down here or like up here, just right where it makes a straight line. And at this point, you're just going to curl to about your eye level and then come back. Now, a couple important things here is that it's okay for your elbows and shoulders to move forward a little bit. You know, you don't have to keep them like locked in here and just move your arms like that. But your elbow should be doing most of the flexion, and it should initiate the curl. So what I mean by that is it's gonna be the first thing to move your elbow, and then your shoulders can follow. Versus the other way around, if you kind of go like this, that's gonna be way too much shoulder. Don't do that. But regardless, come here, pull towards your eyes, and then really squeeze your biceps as hard as you can on that contracted position. Release slowly and come back. Nice. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Just like that. This one's going to overload that contracted position, so it's going to be really hard on this part, which is good. It's going to work really well for this. Let's do 3 to 6 single rest pause sets. That's just like the push-ups. As a reminder, that's 2 mini sets combined into 1 big set with 15 deep breaths in between the mini sets. So do, for reps, do 10 to 20 reps for the first mini set. Take a 15-second break and then do another set. That's 1 big set. As far as reps in reserve, let's push pretty hard and go 1 rep till failure. You can also go to 0 reps in reserve, either one works. And as far as progression, the best way I found, because you do want to keep your feet where they're at each time you do this, what works is either add more weight via adding more tension, or more band I mean, or you can just choke up a little bit, and instead of grabbing here, you can grab here, and because that will shorten the band length, that will increase the tension, and that should work well with progressive overload. Perfect. That's it for these biceps. Let's move on to triceps. All right, stick with me here. We're almost done. Let's hit our triceps hard with overhead extensions. So take your band, put it to the low anchor. Now, we're going to do this in kind of a fancy style to make sure our triceps get maximally stimulated from this exercise. We're going to do what's called a mechanical drop set, so pay attention here. The first part of the set, there's 2 parts per set, is with our hands apart, just like this. So with these overhead extensions, like I said, keep your hands apart, keep your elbows at least head height or above. Keep it there the whole entire time, don't let them drop. Now, have your hands extend and your elbows extend all the way, and then come back. When you come back, really get a good stretch, kind of reach back with your shoulders, try to go down as far as you can with your elbows, and contract really hard, just like that. Now, kind of a little hidden secret for these is a lot of times People don't realize because of the function of the muscle, it's to also move and extend the shoulder joints as well to a degree. So to maximally kind of contract your triceps, try reaching a little bit forward with your shoulders as well as your elbows. So instead of just going like this, I like to go like that and then reach back. Good. So like I said, this is a mechanical drop set. That's part one. After you do your set of your arms apart, right away with no rest, just put your arms together, your hands together, and keep on going. The way this works is it changes the mechanics of the exercise. So the first part is kind of hard, and then the second part is a little easier, so you can keep going. Now, as far as sets and reps go, let's go 4 to 5 total sets of this exercise for the mechanical drop sets. So yeah, technically that's like 8 to 10 sets total, but think of it as 4 to 5 total sets. For both the hands together, hands apart and hands together, let's try to aim for about 10 to 30 reps. Now expect your second set, if you do it right, to be less reps. So you might get, say you get on the first set, you get 22 hands apart over extensions. Once you reach your failure point, then you get to hands together and you maybe only do 8. That's one set. As far as reps from reserve, for these, let's go anywhere from 2 to 0 reps from reserve. It's up to you. Just do what feels comfortable and do what feels good for you. Perfect. That's all I have for today's exercises. Awesome. That's all I have for today. Again, that was day 3 of the Muscle Through Corona Band and Bodyweight program. This was upper body. We have one more lower body day left. And as a reminder, I have 2 other days I recorded for you guys, and I'll shoot them up in the description below. Again, the link for the whole entire program will be in the footnotes. This goes into detail about everything we did today. So with conjunction with the program and today's video, you guys should be able to kind of navigate yourself. However, if you have any questions at all about any exercise modifications or general questions, my social media is James Ryburn on Instagram and Facebook, even TikTok if you want a little laugh. So let me know. Also be sure to check out my website at RyburnTrainingSystems.com. You can contact me through there as well. Like I said, that's all I have. I really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks everyone. Hope you have a good day. Now, with the same thing with single rest pauses for the program is, as always. Shoot me an email at James Ryan. Whoa, geez. Weeks now, and it's just so great every time. Well, let's start over. That's silly. One of my personal favorite exercises, I said that like 16 times now. It's a little awkward. Stop. I'm using classic overhead extensions. So, no, that was dumb. Overhead extension. So, no, stop. So, say you're really strong. Floor push-ups are no joke. They're not gonna start, they're easy.